Assalamualaikum and very good morning to everyone. Okay, let me give a little bit of pantun to start our PD Talk series in this morning. Indah berbalam si awan petang, berarak di celah pepohon ara, pemanis kalam selamat datang, awal bismillah pembuka bicara. Thank you so much, so guys, for joining us today. I really hope I really hope you guys will stay till the end of our program. Okay, my name is Airol Azmil Limin, the host for this PD Talk today. Okay.
Yay!
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Okay. I hope you guys in a very good health. Okay. Especially.
Airol, are you okay, Airol?
Okay. I'm okay, madam.
Okay, good.
Okay. So
chill. Did you have coffee this morning, Airol?
Yes, I got it. One. Yeah. This coffee. So everyone, if everyone have a coffee, you can show to us the coffee.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyone talk with the coffee? It's like everyone will say the hipster style. Okay. Yeah. Okay. As you guys can see from our teaser video, our topic for today is careers in coffee from field to cup. Okay, anyone interesting kan? Yeah.
Interesting.
Our topic might be the unique one. Okay, about the coffee. I feel really
working in coffee.
Yeah, working in coffee.
Yeah.
Korang nak tahu tak careers in coffee tu apa? Semua mesti nak tahu kan?
Yes.
Nak tahu.
Mana tahu nanti satu hari nanti ada cita-cita nak jadi barista ke?
Yes.
Ini muka teknikal pun macam nak jadi muka barista ni. Gaya lah dia, tapi tak tahu lah dia, tak tahu lah awak berminat ke tidak ke. Kita tak tahu lah.
Ya, betul.
Tapi kalau tengok pada poster yang kita orang post, gaya ada lah. Memang terbaik lah, gaya tu dah ada lah. Cuma mana tahu nanti kalau satu hari nanti rezeki kita kan. Kita tak tahu masa depan kita macam mana. Okay, biar saya explain tentang careers in coffee ni macam mana. Okay, explain in English or Malay? Okay, let me explain in English. But careers in coffee from the field is very large. But what we are focusing on here is the diversity of job opportunity from production to consumption. There are millions of people working in coffee and 100 different types of job. Macam mana dia ada pelbagai cabang seperti kita tengok mengenai dengan kopi ni. Sampai ada job tu saja daripada production sampailah ke cawan tu. Ni saya tunjuk cawan ni. Daripada cawan ni pun dia ada pelbagai perjalanan dia, macam mana perjalanan dia nak buat tu. Itu yang sebenarnya menarik tentang kalau kita sembang pasal kopi ni. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, saya continue. As an industry that has the potential to provide meaningful job opportunity for the rest of your work life. Okay. In this morning, Mr. Jeevan Badrillah was invited as our speaker panel today. Wow. That's our speaker for today. Okay. Where is Mr. Jeevan? Mr. Jeevan.
Hello, Mr. Jeevan. Good morning.
Mr. Jeevan, cuba lambai to our penonton today.
Hello.
Lambai and say hello to our viewer today.
Mr. Jeevan.
Morning, Mr. Jeevan. How are you this morning?
Syukur, Alhamdulillah. Thank you for having me. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Sir looks very handsome today. The
Oh,
coat at the red,
right.
Major. Yes, I really like it. When I
Thank
saw
you.
you in your IG,
You are making me blush.
sorry, sir.
Embarrassing me.
But
No, Mr. Jeevan. Mr.
This
Jeevan,
is
dia
not
nak balas
yeah.
dendam. Dia,
Oh.
sebab I blush him, now he blush you.
But you look really handsome. I like it. Maybe I never know one day I'm gonna like you.
Lain macam
Yeah.
je ni.
Okay. So our viewers, this is Mr. Jeevan that already say hello to our viewer today. Okay, he will explain and answer all the question about careers in coffee from the field to the car. No, don't worry. Any question you just can ask. Whether you want to open your mic or you want to comment in the chat box, it's okay. Inshallah, I will read the best question. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. This is the best part. I want to talk. I want to introduce. Okay. Let us introduce our PD Talk supervisor yang cantik lagi menawan. Wow.
Hello.
Madam Azwin Aksan.
Thank
Give a big
you.
applause to
I
her.
thought kita baca Mr. Jeevan punya background kan. Semua orang dah kenal I dah basi dah. Semua orang dah kenal I dah. I dah tak atraktif lagi dah. But anyway, good morning everyone. Thank you for joining. I know tomorrow is Hari Raya, but we truly appreciate you being with us this morning. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, madam. So look beautiful, madam, today.
I pernah ke tak beautiful?
Hari beautiful.
Oops.
Madam always cantik hari-hari.
Yeah,
in class and all the PD Talk. I like it. Okay.
Yes.
So madam memang terbaik. Thank you for guiding us.
Thank you.
From early till right now. Okay. Our talk today program will not be complete with help of our team. Yeah, our team I must tell about our team. Yeah.
Okay.
We have here Nisa, Ain, and Putra as a moderator. Okay. Can you lambai your hand to our viewers? And give a very big smile to our viewer.
Okay.
Morning.
Okay, Khairil and Adlina as a technical team. So where's Khairil and Adlina? Give a lambai to our viewer.
Hello.
Say something. Okay. Handsome and so cute our team today. I like it. It seems like me. I myself also handsome. Oh, okay. Okay, before we start our talk, let me introduce our respected Mr. Jeevan Badrillah. Itulah orang kata tak kenal maka tak cinta. Tak kenal maka tak cinta ayat tu. So bila time kita dah kenal kita boleh cinta lah, tapi kalau laki-laki tidak. Maybe tu perempuan mungkin dah boleh ni kan. Just apa tu orang kata tu perumpamaan je lah. Kita cakap saja. Okay. Once viewer know him, mesti quite amazing with our speaker achievement. Wow. Okay. Let's watch our speaker background video. Let's check it out, guys. Okay.
Wow.
Hopefully they
Ada video.
Mr. Jeevan Badrillah was formerly the head of business and brand partnership at Khairil Hospitality Group, where he helped strategize the direction, including the setup and operation of new brand and outlet, as well as solidify the group positioning in terms of social and corporate partnership. Okay. Personally, he was the customer service manager with Costa Coffee. If everyone know where's the Costa Coffee?
Yes.
If you go to Shell, if you go to Petron, so there's a vending machine here, okay? Which oversaw the customer journey through multiple channels and engaged with customer feedback, comments and suggestions, grievances, as well as tasks with organizing service recovery and remedial action step, and help create a holistic, uplifting customer experience. Okay? Oh, it look like Mr. Jeevan very with the customer. Okay, he was first brought in as the training and district manager, which saw him recruit and develop a diverse pool of talent as part of the first team of manager, and in turn train the pool of baristas and maestro, which support the set up and operation of their first 6 locations, which kick-started on the first 31st July at Bangsal Shopping Centre, which was quickly followed by NU Central, Menara Alliance, MRCB, Sunway Pyramid, his flagship store, Q Central, and MC Tower 1 in Cyberjaya. Mr. Jeevan passion for customer a relationship, food and beverages, which is F&B, and the cafe industry in Malaysia started 24 years ago, where he was part of the pioneer batch team as a barista with Starbucks coffee. Okay, Malaysia back in 1998, and grow to a store manager, opening up the market while taking over and turning around loose, making store while building the coffee culture, with the last being in Mahkota Perit and Dataran Palawan, Melaka in 2005. Okay, then he moved on to set up and operate a cafe at the HSBC Global Support Center Malaysia in Cyberjaya for 2 years in business development and marketing in 2008. Mr. Jeevan moved on to the tourism industry as a licensed tour guide and international tour leader for a decade, handling multiple travel group under Tourism Malaysia, banner of Mega Federation, covered the F1 race, the Putra Jaya Hot Balloon and Fiesta, Red Forest Music Festival, and the ASEAN Celebrity Explore Quest Malaysia, and currently run a company namely Chief Inside. Wow.
Yay!
That's a lot of experience. That's a good experience.
Wow, that's a very impressive
really
background.
With him. Yeah, I really appreciate. Yeah.
Thank you, Airol. I wanted to bring you water just now.
I already got the water.
Introduce me so elaborately. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, morning, Mr. Jeevan. Perhaps we can hear a little bit from you on your experience. How did you move from all those experience in coffee into tourism? So maybe we can get to know you a little bit this morning.
Yeah. Sure. Don't mind me asking. Don't mind me asking Azwin, our time. What's our time like? So I know how to make it short or make it.
We have until 12:30.
Oh, sure. Right. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes. Right. So maybe I'll share with the group 2 seconds of myself, so it will make total sense rather than bits here and bits and pieces here and there, and it doesn't gel. Right. Thank you for having me this morning. Before that, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Right. Assalamualaikum semua. Right. For me, I fondly like to say it's very easy for me to remember my work journey and my career, because I celebrate the same anniversary with Starbucks Coffee Malaysia.
Wow.
Right. So back in October 1998, out of many applicants, many applicants, I was blessed to be part of the pioneer team. We are known as anytime, any day, full-timers barista, but pioneer team. Right. So, grew from a barista to a shift supervisor to an assistant store manager, then store manager. I was also a classroom facilitator and also a manager coach mentor. What is a manager coach mentor? Manager coach mentor is I hold the hands of future store managers until they successfully open their own store. Right. And the last 4 years of my life with Starbucks, I think just now I read it out. Ironically, I'm speaking to School of Tourism in Malacca today. And my last store was actually in Malacca back in 2005. Yes. Back in 2005, there was only one singular store in Malacca, which was in Mahkota Perit.
Yes.
Right. So I actually take over stores which are not making money. We call them loss-making stores. And together with the team, right, try to turn the store around in terms of service, experience, hospitality, coffee knowledge, and then we gave birth to Dataran Palawan. At that time, Dataran Palawan was the next mall after Mahkota Perit, right? Now, so that was my Starbucks chapter 1. And then one of my regular customers, a surgeon from Mahkota Medical Center, a Dr. Francis, he actually saw the before and after of the store before me coming and then taking over and turning it around. And he provided me with the financial backing to go out, to venture out on my own and to open something. And through my local store marketing strategies, trying to pump in more sales into Mahkota Parade outlet. One of it was the HSBC Global Support Center in Cyberjaya.
I see.
Right? Yeah. And because of that, we had the opportunity to open a cafeteria, open a cafe by invitation by the GM. And with the financial backing and that opportunity with HSBC, I decided to venture out of Starbucks into self-employment, into business for a while to do that. However, for those of you who remember, because knowing you guys are still quite young. But I'm sure your lecturer Azwin will recall in 2008.
I'm still young, Mr. Jeevan. I'm still young.
So am I. We're all young, right? Coffee is a very good antioxidant, yeah, by the way. If you work with coffee, you will look young for a long time, right? So, unfortunately, in 2008, the Asian financial crisis, there was a financial meltdown in the US and the domino effect to ASEAN and all, and HSBC was affected. And unfortunately, I had to lock, stock, and barrel my cafeteria and cafe in 2008. And that's when I stumbled into tourism. Because some of my regular customers from Tourism Malaysia, they call me, they message me, said, Jeevan, come, let's go out for coffee, let's have a chat. We are looking for people like you because we fell in love with Starbucks, not because we like coffee, but because we fell in love with the service that we experienced in Mahkota Parade. And you being a working adult, however, now I know we know that you just closed down your cafe, but I think we have an opportunity for you. Come, listen, come to our open day. And I went for the TG tour guide open day at Tourism Malaysia at Manava Dato' On, which was pre-WTC. I went for the open day, listened to what they had to say, and was very keen and very excited. And I was offered a partial scholarship to do the license. And since 2010 till today, I am actually a licensed tour guide. I've done plenty of groups. I believe I'm very versatile and very adaptable. So I do student groups as young as 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, right up to MICE, conventions, one-on-one, journalists, media, celebrities, artists, influencers. So I've been very blessed in my journey as a tour guide, meeting up with so many different types of people from different demographics, sports tours, school tours, and all of that. However, fast forward a little bit, I came back to the corporate world when I heard through the grapevine that Costa Coffee was about to come into Malaysia. And I'm not sure whether you all know, but Costa Coffee globally is now owned by Coca-Cola.
Oh, no, we didn't know that.
Yes. So about 2-3 years ago, Coca-Cola acquired Costa for about 6.5 billion USD. Right. So in the world as we know it, of course, there are many formats of coffee today, but the ones with the number of stores is A, Starbucks coffee, B, Costa Coffee. If you travel to Europe or you travel to England or you go to London, you only will see the strongest one would be Costa, yeah?
Right.
I think for the past 9 years, blind coffee tasting voted number 1 in the UK for 9 consecutive years is Costa. Right. So I was with Costa with a company called Gapuna Permai Sindran Bahad, the license holder to open the stores in Malaysia. We share a little bit more during our chat if there's a question to it. Because in Malaysia, everybody knows Costa as being Costa, but actually Costa, there are 4 different companies that are running the brand in Malaysia. The one in the airport, the physical store, the one you see in Shell, and also the machine which is outside of Shell, right? So I was with Costa for about slightly less than a year because the company took the direction of going more into the machines. I'm a very human connection person, more into people culture, training people, opening up a retail store. Fast forward again and having coffee at Bukit Tungku. I'm not sure if any of you have been to the Candy Hills Bakers at Bukit Tungku.
Yes!
Our home.
My favorite place.
Right. Yeah, so having coffee there and then chatted with the founders, husband and wife team. They are the founders of Kenny Hills Bakers or Kenny Hills Hospitality Group, Mr. Au and Madam Haley. And the son at that time just came back from the Netherlands. And fast forward, he spearheaded the company as he's currently the MD. So I was with the company for about 2 years to help them with first in hospitality, training, service recovery, getting service as good as the pastries that has a cult following, sort of a cult following, especially the pit strudel, key lime pie, and all of that. And then towards the later part of my life, I was then appointed as the head of business and brand partnerships. What does that mean? It means I look externally for partnerships, and one of the partnerships that we looked at was with Nainova, right? And then green collabs with NGOs like Fuse Ecotail that does river cleanup at Sungai Kayu Ara and Perhentian Turtle Project, Pulau Perhentian and all of that. And fast forward again, here I am today. For the past 3 months, I've been actually offering advisory and consultation to startups and micro SMEs, pups and moms, small, whatever not, that comes my way, that has a small mini fire or whatever not fire. I become like a firefighter, advising companies on how they can align themselves back. And here I am, invited by you guys to be here today, speaking to you.
Yeah. Thank you. Interesting, interesting. So I think we will go into our moderating discussion this morning. I would like to kick the first question. I think you shared with us a lot of insights on your experience with the coffee. I believe we found the perfect speaker for this morning's topic.
Inshallah.
Coffee, because we see a lot of new coffee shops opening right now. I think I don't know when was your last trip to Malacca, but right now Malacca is like booming with with many hipster coffee places, and they do serve very good coffee. So I think it is definitely giving us a new experience of the F&B world today. So in your opinion, what is really causing this trend to come to Malaysia throughout? Because it wasn't that much of a coffee places as today. Apologies for that.
I think the number one key reason, the first, and there are a lot of factors and a lot of reasons, but I think the key to this happening all of a sudden, it feels like a paradigm shift, is because the pandemic, it amplified a lot of people losing their jobs, and all of a sudden, if you pandai buat nasi lemak, you got to go and suddenly figure out how to earn money, either via food delivery heroes like Food Panda, Grab, and all of that. A lot of people, some people went to coffee, some people went to many different things to sustain their livelihood. And once people became self-employed, like a Food Panda or a service delivery hero with Grab, or opening up a kedai nasi lemak and earning decent money like 4, 5, 6,000 a month, who would want to go back into employment and work for 2, 3,000 a month, being an employee, when you on your own, being self-employed, can actually earn that much? That is, I personally feel that is the first key reason. So a lot of people actually jump on the bandwagon, even if they do not have the experience or the technical know-how or the knowledge to do it. But whether or not this is sustainable in the long run, we don't know, because if there's 15 kedai nasi lemak or 15 cafes on one street, for sure there will be winners and there will be people who will not be able to make it, right? And having said that, I think when I first became a barista back in 1998, just to give a bit of context and a bit of a background, it was in Bukit Bintang. So the first home of Starbucks Coffee Malaysia is in a mall called KL Plaza, which is now known as Fahrenheit 88. And at that time, Pavilion was the Bukit Bintang Girls' School. And back in 1998, when the first Starbucks first opened, we opened together with Planet Hollywood and Tower Records. Right, so just to give a bit of context, I think Coffee Bean was around 2 years before Starbucks came into the market, and there was also Dome. So our first introduction to the world of coffee, to most people, would be either Dome, Coffee Bean, Starbucks, San Francisco Coffee, right? And a few pups and mums, but not many. Because at that time...
What about Gloria Jean's coffee?
And Gloria Jean's. Yeah. You mentioned. Gloria Jean's, I think they had one good store in KLCC back in the year 2000. Yeah. But unfortunately, I don't think they're already there. I think the model which they are in right now is very different in comparison to when they first started in Malaysia. Yeah. So I think probably that answers your question first as to why.
Yeah.
But moving forward, I think maybe I should also say that right now, coffee, from a community co-working space to coffee in the office to coffee at home, you can buy a Nespresso coffee machine. You can buy the capsules and make coffee at home. You can go online to your smartphone and order Bus Bear. You can order Zeus. You can order this and that. There's a lot of choices in multiple formats. And not forgetting the luxury end of the market, which that I just found out, I think about a month ago in Hong Kong, Ralph Lauren, is also going into the coffee space. Next to their boutique retail store, they've opened Ralph's Coffee. And very recently, I've noticed on LinkedIn that they've gone out to reach out to having the store manager position open for Malaysians to apply to, meaning that Ralph's Coffee is soon to open in Malaysia. And what's coming to Malaysia is very exciting because the unicorn of the F&B world from Jakarta, from Indonesia, Kopi Kenangan, will also be opening its doors in Malaysia come later part this year. Kopi Kenangan, yeah. Kopi Kenangan is huge, yeah. Why it's huge is because it's a unicorn. What we mean by unicorn is that it has a valuation of USD $1 billion.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
And if you were to Google them up, and if you were to read on Edward Titanata, the CEO and founder of Kopi Kenangan, how they have the fuel for this is you need to understand which company actually invested into Kopi Kenangan. One of it is Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Oh my God.
Right. So Jay-Z and Beyonce have an investment company called Rock Nation, and through their investment company, they have invested into Kopi Kenangan because their accountants and their financial advisors have looked at the figures, look at the growth potential into Malaysia, ASEAN, global, the coffee trend, coffee consumption. And and the other one, I'm sure you know Serena Williams and Venus Williams, the tennis star players. They are also invested into Kopi Kenangan. Why I'm sharing this with you today is because you need to understand that everything is interconnected. I don't think I can speak on coffee, cafe on its own if I don't touch on airlines, I don't touch on hotels, I don't touch on staycation, I don't touch on all of the things that I mentioned, because everything is in the hospitality space.
Right.
Yeah, so I think,
like, what are the requirements? It's like, how do you even become eligible to be called a barista? Do you get like certified, or or do you get like accumulate a certain amount of years of experience, or how?
Azwin, I think maybe to answer your question is similar to my answer for the doctor. So that means I can call myself a barista. All of us can call ourselves barista, but the customer will come to the store and look for Azwin. Because when my coffee is prepared, pour over V60. I don't know whether you guys are familiar. Pour over is like a Chemex. It's like the coffee ground is at the top in a cone filter, and then the barista will slowly pour the hot water so that the water goes through the coffee ground slowly to extract the flavor of the coffee. Right. So when Azwin does that, she actually talks to me, makes conversation, chit-chat, and tells me a little bit about the coffee. This coffee is Ethiopia Sidamo. It comes from the region of Sidamo in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is the birthplace of coffee, blah, blah, blah. But when Ain or Jeevan or Nisa does it, it's just like...
Oh, we see a lot of that nowadays.
Yeah. So, as a customer, if I can, I don't choose to support them.
Right.
And I give another example. If I only got 40 ringgit in a month to visit cafe 3 to 4 times a month, will I be more selective to where I go? Or will I go anywhere, everywhere, all the time? No, right? As our spending power gets lesser and lesser, we will become more selective to where we go and support to get a good cup of coffee, tea, whatever. Even mama pun kita can select.
But the thing is, Mr. Jeevan, like, okay, say if I've probably experienced working in, I don't know, Costa or whatever, making coffees. I don't like call myself barista by profession. Then I want to upgrade my position, you know, like, oh, this Starbucks is offering like store manager, whatever. And then I want to submit my CV. Can I self-claim that I was a barista? Or like, where do I get that recognition?
Barista is a prerequisite. A store manager is a manager that operates and runs a store. The P&L and a lot of moving parts in a store, not just about the coffee, but a lot of other things as well, which is your accounts, your P&L, your inventory and stock control. So when you've been working with Costa as a barista for 1 year, for example, and obviously you cannot right away apply to become a store manager because the progression from that
or maybe barista lah. I want to go for another barista job but with a higher pay, like that.
Why not? If you've got the experience,
claim myself as a barista at Costa, but I wasn't hired by Costa as a barista, but I came in like maybe as, I don't know, what do you call those positions?
Because the thing is, if we are going to speak on Costa, every team member that joins the company must first start as a barista. Even if you are the store manager, there is a module that you must complete in order for you to become a store manager. Because how are you going to manage the bar if you do not know how it runs or operates? You may not necessarily have to go and make the coffee because you are managing the store. However, you know how it runs, how it operates, the workings of it. It is something that you must have. It needs to be passed by the learning and development, the training manager. Only then do you move on to the next module. You complete your supervisory training program or your management training program. In Costa and Starbucks, it's a good place to start your career if you want to build yourself in coffee because they have got the certifications. And it's easy for you to show because you know, when you show that certificate given to you by the company, obviously, I mean, you can't fake it. That's one. The second thing is when they get you behind the bar, you also can't fake it.
Right.
Because when you steam the milk, when you pull the espresso shot, when they ask you to explain, can you explain to me how does a good espresso shot look like? If you are unable to explain even that basic part, they know that, then what have you been doing all this while? Because you don't even know that a good espresso shot is between 18 to 23 seconds. How does the color of a good espresso shot, because if the espresso shot comes out like too fast, it'll be too watery. Too watery means you don't get the coffee flavor. If it comes down super slow, it takes 3 minutes for you to get an espresso shot. When you drink it, you're drinking the darkest, most intense, bitter coffee you're going to ever drink. So it needs to be 18 to 23 seconds. So if you can explain just the basic, people know that. And then the way you move. If there's 5 drinks to be made, if they can see the flow, your operations flow, how you're moving, you're steaming the milk, pulling the shot, moving with the other team members, they can clearly know whether you're experienced or not. You can't lie. And the third thing is, of course, reference check.
Interesting.
And they call the company, I've got the Azwin here applying for a store manager position. Can I speak to the store manager? And then, reference check. So, I mean, these are all basics, but
now we have many barista or whoever, I don't know if I can call everyone behind the counter barista if I visit a Starbucks. But then you ask, I would like to have something of frappuccino with coffee base. And they'll look at you like, so what do you want? Like, they couldn't even give you a suggestion. Like, they are so clueless.
So the thing is, I'm going back to the story of the doctor. I'm going back to the story of the doctor. So they can call themselves the barista behind the bar at Cafe ABC, but when they come out, and if I interview them, no way I'm going to give them a job.
Right.
I'm just being very frank with you, yeah? If I was the interviewer and I'm setting up a new brand, I'm looking for experienced baristas. I'm looking for attitude. I'm looking for character. I'm looking for passion. I'm looking for knowledge. And then everything else we can train and develop.
Right.
If I don't find these first four, I straight away filter you out. So you can call yourself whatever not you want to call yourself. That is your right. You can come with whatever not CV, whatever not, that you can come for the interview. But we're going to filter you.
So at the end of the day, it's all under the umbrella of hospitality. So you gotta like have the people, person, character kind of thing.
Jeevan, I have a question. Okay, you said that before that a barista need to complete the module and so on. So I have read at a website. Specialty Coffee Association, SCA, is one association that organizes a coffee competition at the national level to highlight the skills of barista in order to complete the world stage alongside some of the best barista in the world. So my question is, how does participating in such competition benefits the barista in terms of their career development?
I love to answer your questions in a different context, and then I'll go to your question so that I can so your mind opens up a little bit. Can I ask you this question? Kim Kardashian has how many followers on Instagram? Does anyone know? Do you know how many followers?
Bagi bawa cepat.
A lot.
I think maybe in million.
Kim Kardashian has got 30 million followers on Insta. Do you know Nilofa has how many followers on Insta?
Nilofa, wow.
About 9 million. I think 5 or 9, I'm not mistaken. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, when you want to be successful in anything you do, first and foremost, you need to be well connected. You need to have connections. All right? Connection is important, visibility, and people need to know you. For example, if Nisa and Ain were both selling curry puff, Nisa's curry puffs were really good. Ain's curry puffs were so-so. But Nisa has the way she does her service, the way she gets a customer to post it back on IG and TikTok. But Ain has totally none of that. Who do you think can sell more curry puffs in a week?
Of course, me lah.
So when you go for competitions, obviously, like just now in a video, there was a guy by the name of Shasha Shashtik. Shasha Shashtik is a success story of somebody who fell in love with coffee and became the world barista champion. Shasha Shashtik comes from a war-torn country called Bosnia-Herzegovina. He migrated with his family to Australia, to ACT. ACT is Australia's Putrajaya. When he went to Australia, they couldn't speak very well in English, but he was really good in netball. So what had happened was he joined the Australian netball team and went to the Olympics. And he said, oh, that's it lah. You know, I found something that I can be a part of. I can be a part of the Australian Olympic handball team. After coming back from the Olympics, he even won best handball player in the Olympics, yeah, guys. When he came back, he was waiting that the Australian Olympic Council will call him and say, hey, Shasha Shashtik, we got a job for you. We want you to be an Olympian. We want you to be an athlete. Did the phone call come? It never came. Why? Communication barrier. He and his family living in ACT without any work, money is running lesser and lesser. In his neighborhood, there was a bakery / with a coffee machine. The owners wanted to sell it, and he told his family, I think we should buy the cafe, the bistro, and we should do this business. And the family asked him, are you crazy? What do you know about coffee? What do you know about baking? I don't know, but I can learn. You know how he learned? YouTube.
YouTube. Oh.
He went to YouTube. He learned on the coffee machine. He dissect part by part of the coffee machine. He learned about coffee, espresso shot, steaming, latte art. He learned it from YouTube, and then he opened his cafe. He opened a small mini bakery, and the community fell in love with Shasha Shashtik's family's bistro. They love going because the service which they gave the customer, impeccable. Superb. And once he got a bit of money, a bit of moolah, a bit of money, what he did, he started going for competitions. He went for district competition. Then he went to regional competition. Then he went to Australian national level competition, which he won. After winning, what he does, he go and use the money, some of the money, to find World Barista Champion. He paid the World Barista Champion to train him. Transfer of technology, train, fail, train again, learn again, train again, go to Seattle for World Barista Championship, win it, and become a world rock star in the world of coffee. Why am I sharing this story with you? What do you think you can take away from this story?
Kira macam kena, untuk berjaya kita kena tahu kekuatan diri kita dan jangan takut nak cuba.
You kena lapar.
Ya.
You kena bayangkan diri you, keluarga you, anak-anak you tak ada makanan. You kena ada that lapar, that hunger.
Membakar semangat lah.
Membakar semangat. If you look at, I don't know, there are many sports people who come from nothing. But because their semangat is wajar, is so strong, is membakar, that anything you put in front of them can be smashed. You know, in America, for an example, in America, once upon a time in the 60s and 70s, bagi mereka yang berkulit hitam, the Negroes, the black community, it's very hard to become a professional. You can only become a professional athlete. Once you become a professional athlete, like a basketball player or an American football player, they will do everything to become the top in their game because that's the only way they can become rich. Either become a hip-hop rap mogul, star like Puff Daddy and all of that, or sports. So you have to know in your life, what do you want? What do you want to buy? What do you want to wear? If you want to drive that sort of a car, if you want to wear that sort of a thing, you need to find this.
Mr. Jeevan.
So apa yang akan membakar diri you is yourself.
Mr. Jeevan.
Right? Yes, Putra.
It's like that coffee is like being consumed by people. Like, why do you think Malaysian citizens love to drink coffee?
Actually, the answer, I beg to differ. Not all Malaysians love to drink coffee.
Yeah.
I think the cafe provides a safe environment that people they are able to meet up with their friends, do their coursework, do a lot of self-employed people like insurance agents, unit trust people, people who are web designers, social media content, they can actually work from
it's using the microbiology, like the fermentation process, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's like to allow the different coffee beans to develop specific characteristics.
The fermentation process, yes.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Right. But from a layman's standpoint, how do normal people like differentiate the different quality from like maybe its appearance, its smell, its taste?
Yes, absolutely. Its appearance and the smell. Even the appearance. When you look at Arabica, it's a bit smaller. Arabica is a bit more robust. It's a bit bigger. The colors. But if you're really keen on knowing how to identify coffee and also the right method of slurping a coffee and describing it, Starbucks has got coffee tasting sessions that you can sign up for example. A lot of cafes are giving up. Kenny Hills Coffee or Kenny Hills Hospitality Group via Kenny Hills Coffee also has once every 2 weeks, they invite a very senior, very experienced barista to come and to teach and to facilitate a class of people wanting to know more about coffee. So you can actually ask around, or you can actually register at those brands for their classes. One of the things that I think I should also share on a little bit is you need to understand today, besides you wanting to build or carve a career in coffee, you must understand that technology is also playing a very critical or important part, especially after the pandemic. In the post-pandemic world, after COVID-19, technology is playing a more integral or more critical part, not just in cafe, not just in hospitality space, but even in a supermarket, fulfillment center, hotel. It can be an enabler and it also can be a disruption. So if you intend to do be a barista or whatever not that you want to be in this space, you need to see how technology is playing a more a bigger part, so that you don't go into the space where technology is already there, because technology will make what you have redundant. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is, unless you can sell that, I know for sure that I am better than your robot in this context. If you can show, you can prove it, then you can still win. But if you still 50-50, if you're still you to it, then technology is going to replace that part of your job. Please bear that in mind, because it is already disrupting a lot of things. Like in China, Alibaba, I don't know whether you guys have heard of Alibaba.
Yeah, I know it.
Alibaba has a fulfillment center called Homa. And in Homa, a lot of people enjoy going to the Homa supermarket, even though they don't enjoy going to a typical supermarket. They love going to Homa, because what happens is when you go to Homa with your smartphone and you see spinach, or you see mushroom, or you see chicken, you can just QR code. You do not have to pick up anything. You can actually, via the app, select where to send the item, make the cashless payment, and also the day and the time that you want the order to be fulfilled. Additionally, you can also inform the kitchen in the supermarket to make you your noodle or your porridge or your pizza from the items that you've just selected. I want to have a Hawaiian pizza at 4 p.m. with 2 people. So after I've done all my shopping, I don't carry anything here. Sorry.
Mr. Jeevan, is it like the instant coffees, right? But it's like not the same if it's instant compared to like being brewed right in front of you. It's like a French press or things like that.
Sorry, Putra, I'm not getting your question. What was the question again?
Maybe you can finish off your story first, and then we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Right. So so Alibaba is one. In America, Amazon Go has opened hundreds of stores. Similarly, you don't have to bring your wallet with you. Just bring your smartphone. Choose whatever you want to choose. Pay it cashless and walk out. So you don't ever will see a cashier. You won't see a cashier. A cashier is no longer needed because everything is cashless. So what I'm trying to say is, if somebody you may want to be a cashier, I don't know, you want to learn on being a cashier, but the cashier part of the business is slowly being taken out. Similarly, if you go to a lot of QSR, QSR stands for quick service restaurant, like Pizza Hut, Domino's, and a lot of cafes, even teppanyaki store, even Sushi King. You go to your table, or you don't wait for the pelayan or the waiter to come to you anymore to take your order. What do? You see a QR code on your table. You QR code, okay, and then you place your order. The order is then shot or fired into the kitchen. The order will then be sent to you. Your payment has already been made. So after you've already makan, you can just walk out, because everything was made via your smartphone on the QR code. So things like this. I'm sorry to go into this. This is a little bit off alignment, but I think it's very important. When I interview interns, when I interview part-timers, when I interview the new generation of fresh graduates, a lot of people are very taken aback with the word work-life balance. And they say that, why must we work hard when we can work smart? My question to them, or if they want my constructive criticism, is that before you can start to work smart, you need to have subject matter expertise that only comes from experience and working hard in the beginning. Even doctor pun, once you graduate, you come back to Malaysia. If you study on your own overseas and you come back to Malaysia, you need to become a locum first. You need to go to government hospital. Right. You need to get that number of hours working in the government hospital to get that pengalaman. Without the pengalaman, how are you going to diagnose your patient? Or jumpa patient tak tahu, jumpa patient tak tahu, semua tak tahu. But you're a doctor. Why? Because tiada pengalaman. So if you don't if you don't commit and invest your time to get that, don't dream of working smart. How are you going to work smart? With what? No knowledge, no experience, tapi nak work smart. Oh, saya boleh kerja 3 hari je, lagi 2 hari saya kena kerja hybrid. Lepas itu macam ni, macam tu, macam ni. You know, I'm not saying that they are wrong and I'm right. I'm not saying that. But if you want to be like that, make sure you got bahan. Kalau kita tak ada bahan, apa yang kita nak olah? Betul. Working from home is not just not getting up at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, and then do your research.
Yeah, I think that's something that I wanted to share. I do share with a lot of the. I'm not old, but I'm saying the younger set. Yeah, the
so, Mr. Jeevan, any future plans to open or run another coffee shop?
Right now, in terms of coffee shop specifically, no, because there's a lot of interesting things coming into the market. But maybe on my side, I am actually in deep discussions with 2 organizations right now. One is in the midst of launching a very niche boutique upper class of a hotel in somewhere close to Chinatown, and another one is a F&B culinary organization. Once I'm firm on either one, I'll be more than happy to share on my LinkedIn. I'm very active here, guys, on LinkedIn. So I'm sure Azwin has my handle. If you do wish to connect on LinkedIn,
yes,
we can connect there. Maybe 2 seconds on this. Networking is absolutely important, critical and crucial for your career development. Doesn't matter what you are working as. If you have no network, your value is close to 0. Umpama kata you got the best career path, nobody knows about it. You need to understand that you are the CEO of yourself, Putra, Nisa, and all of you. If you don't understand that you are the CEO of your own personal branding, you already starting off on the wrong foot. So if you are the CEO of your organization, your marketing, your sales, your public relations, your social media, your community is all you. So a key skill in order for you to do everything well is communication. If you cannot communicate well, maybe you can, if you want to be a technician, if you want to do a job that talks less, maybe that's fine, but that's not me. If you want to be a barista, be a store manager, operate a business, SME, micro SME, entrepreneurship, if you cannot communicate, then I wish you all the best. It's going to be very difficult because you're communicating to your team members, which are your staff. You're communicating to your managers. You're communicating to your customers who are complaining. You're communicating with a lot of things. If you cannot communicate, you are in a box. And you're very limited, you know?
Yes. And that's for me very important.
Yeah.
Very important advice, Mr. Jeevan.
Right. I really highly regard you guys to be very, very super active on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn will make it pay bucket loads for your career development. It's not just about finding a job, but it's about finding the network and opportunities. If you have zero presence on LinkedIn, it's again like umpama kata you jual goreng pisang, orang tak tahu. But maybe it works for you on Instagram.
So,
but for me,
yeah,
LinkedIn
right?
is, Come again, Putra?
I meant like if we're like active in LinkedIn, so that we can have a huge network of connections, right? Like so we can,
because we can speak to other experts. We can ask for advice. I can meet your lecturer Azwin, and then have this opportunity to be here today. I hope what I'm sharing with you guys today, remember masa itu emas guys. Kalau you dah habiskan 2 jam you dekat sini hari ni, just like me, I've invested 2 hours of my life into this. I hope to give you something that makes sense to you. Because otherwise, kalau kita bagai mencurah air ke daun keladi,
betul,
the 2 hours will never come back ever again in your life. Even if you are Steve Jobs who created Apple, bila dia ada cancer, with all the money in the world, dia tak boleh bayar orang lain ambil cancer dia. Boleh ke?
Tak boleh.
Bila masa dah cukup, masa dah sampai, masa kita dah tiba, innalillahi, right?
Betul.
Really, Mr. Jeevan. But I think that I would like to hand over the floor to our...
No. Sabar Putra. We tak payah hand over. Kita terus buka Q&A saja. Because we're not done with Mr. Jeevan. We have a Q&A session.
Oh, I see. Okay, right.
Can I start first?
Yes. Please spotlight siapa tu? Hello, Aisyah.
Hello, Madam Azwin. Hello, Mr. Jeevan. So throughout the session that you've been giving since the start, I actually like your energy, like like very energetic without like feeling going down. You like
thank you so much.
You keep that, right?
I think. So actually I've been wondering since earlier. I always heard you saying always hunger into finding into something, but can you give us apart from your experience yourself, how do we take care of the spark of our passion to move on? Because reality
you motivated lah,
yes, keep us motivated, because reality is difficult for us, that is right now growing. And do you have like, from your experience yourself, how can we protect our passion to move on without feeling threatened by people's word that can push us down, based on your experience?
Firstly, Aisha, thank you for that question. It really means a lot to me when you say that you're loving the energy, because that's exactly how I try to impart myself to people. So even though we meet each other for 10 minutes or 1 hour or 2 hours, you will remember what I shared with you for a long time. Can I ask you this question? Number 1, do you like reading?
Depends on the interest. Depends on what I'm reading.
Number 2, are you a fan of the pen?
The pen, I use pen. We use pen.
When I say pen means, are you a fan of a notebook and pen, or are you a fan of just everything digital?
For me, actually, I like taking notes with pen better, with books, because I can just like scribble. Because with keypads, sometimes you have like all these typos, and then you have this worry of backspacing to correct your typo. So I prefer pen and paper.
Aisha, fantastic answer. You want to know why? It has been scientifically proven that people who hold a pen and write down their thoughts into paper have a higher chance of achieving their goals than people who just park it aside or digital. It does not work. That is why you see people like, the people that I adore are people that may be a little bit too senior for your generation, but I'll just share them anyway. One of the persons that I greatly admire, that some of my good friends have been able to meet, is Mr. Howard Schultz. Does this name ring a bell to any of you? Do you know who's Mr. Howard Schultz?
Starbucks.
Right. He's the guy who took Starbucks from 3 stores to what it is today. He is about 62 or 63 years old right now. He's written 3 books. The 3 books that he's written are my Bibles. So the thing is and he is a big fan of the pen and the paper, because if he doesn't jot down his thoughts, he doesn't download and write down the thoughts and then later on form those thoughts into action plans to be executed, he will never be able to publish 1, be it even 2. Now he's got 3 books. You can't just have your thoughts up in the air and have it like, I'll think about it later, and it doesn't work. So I'm coming to the second part of the answer, which is you need to have your top 10. Remember, I don't know whether you heard this, you are the CEO of yourself, Aisha. So if you are the CEO of a company, when your people are looking up to you, you need to be a person with vision. Like Tun Dr. Mahathir with Wawasan 2020, you need to have your Wawasan. Then only your people in your organization can look up to you. Wow, my CEO, she has a plan. She has direction, she has fire, she has passion, she has a plan. I can follow her. Now, the people I'm talking about is yourself, obviously, because you are the CEO of your organization. You must have your top 10. Every week, take some time to look at your top 10. Top 10 in personal, top 10 in your career. Revisit it, adjust it, edit it, work on it, look at it, dream, sleep on it. You take the book and you sleep on it. Because if you do not pinch yourself, if you don't pinch yourself, you know what? I'm so sorry to tell you that if we hope our parents or we hope our... Sorry, did you hear me there? I think my battery is running low, but I'm still here. If you do not membakar your semangat, kalau you tidak memberi satu sebab you sakit, you know, like in the 1930s in America, there wasn't work. And people started going to do boxing. And the people who went for boxing ni, dia orang bukan boxer tau. Tapi dia orang ingat dekat rumah anak bini tak ada makan. Kalau I menang the boxing round, I dapat duit, I balik rumah, I boleh beli susu, I boleh beli roti, and put the thing on the table. Asha, you got to visit.
We basically have to be desperate lah in something.
The pain, yes. You need to take a pain point in your life, turn it into fire, and light the fire. And you need to turn up the volume on that fire. And you need to be speaking more to people like your lecturer, or find people like me who can continuously give you this. You need to find mentors. So that's my answer to you. I hope it makes sense.
Thank you.
As we can see nowadays, I think that younger generation tend to open their own coffee shop, maybe like just in front of their house, or open a mini stall at besides the road. So what do you think about this kind of people who own their own coffee shop?
Sorry, what do I think of those people?
No, what do you think of this trend? The trend of they just have trend. Those
younger
small
people have
shops,
their own coffee
like
shop.
the coffee. We can see kan ada banyak kopi gantung lah, kopi ni lah, kopi by the roadside.
Right. I think at the end of the day, everybody kena cari makan, right? And if it helps to pay your bill or it helps to bring in more income into your family, that's absolute fantastic, number one. Number two, do you want to be self-employed or do you want to go and work for somebody as an employee? It depends on what the person wants. Because, umpama cendawan tumbuh lepas hujan, I also have my doubts that everyone is going to be able to make it at the end of the day. But the semangat, the attitude, the characteristic of actually going out and doing it, why not? Kalau kita tak cuba, kita tak ada pengalaman. Without pengalaman, macam mana kita nak kuatkan diri kita, right? No pengalaman. Right. Pernah buat tak pernah buat. And then, like always waiting for opportunities. This one, you create your own opportunity. And then kita tengok jadi ke tak jadi, I think that's good in that sense lah. We all have to learn. We have to start somewhere to learn, right?
But in terms of quality and also the pricing, what do you think? How is that going to affect all the big coffee shops?
I think it's a totally different ball game. Why am I saying that? It's like this. Kalau kita nak beli kereta, there is Perodua Beza, there is Proton Persona, and then of course you want to buy Mercedes-Benz or BMW or Audi or Range Rover or Jaguar pun ada.
Right.
So it's a totally different demographic. The one that open depan rumah probably would be the Perodua. Economical tetapi still got the
Right.
right, like the Azhar. Simple,
Betul.
but still boleh compete and kalahkan all the other cars on the road.
Yeah.
King Myvi, so it depends. But like for me, more often than not, besides enjoying a good cup of coffee, I also go most of the times for the environment because I have my meetings, I have virtual talks, things like that. So I can't have it like just beli coffee like that. Then where do I go, right? So
Right.
most of the time, for me, the environment and the service which I get from the team is also important in where I want to go.
Okay. Mr. Jeevan, based on your experience with the coffee business, what is the problem, the main problem that is causing coffee shop to fail, to close down? What is the major reason for that?
If you're asking me for major, it means number one reason is tiada jualan or no sales.
Okay.
Right? Because when you open something, you kena bayar rental, you kena bayar utility, you kena bayar you punya pekerja, right? You have to pay your supplier. You nak ambil susu, you kena bayar the supplier. You nak ambil biji kopi, you kena bayar you punya supplier. You nak beli dia punya coffee grinder to grind the coffee beans, the coffee machine. And then kalau coffee machine break down, kalau aircon break down, all of this you have to call the technician.
How about the location? How big of a role does it play in terms of location?
So it depends on what sort of a concept you want to open. You see, like Bus Bear, I give an example. Zeus Coffee and Bus Bear, more than 2/3 of their outlets are not physical outlet. Tetapi you nampak dia punya presence kat kawasan tu, tapi they don't have a store because they're working from a ghost kitchen. That means it's not open physically to customer, tapi they can still prepare that item and using the food delivery hero send the item to wherever you are around that area. So this concept is called ghost kitchen or cloud kitchen. It's also picking up. So sometimes, right, location, kalau you buka dekat Desa Sri Hatamas, Montiara, Bangsa, Kuala Lumpur, padat dengan office. If all of them are fans of Zeus Coffee, the price is right, the taste flavor profile is right, you can just open a ghost kitchen. You don't have to open a physical store because the demand will be there. As long as the supply can meet the demand, the company can make business. But if you are someone new and you want to open, it depends also on the concept. You nak buat benda simple-simple ke ataupun you nak try on gula Melaka. You want to push on gula Enau, gula Melaka, sago, pandan, benda-benda you can source locally. Obviously, you need to have a shop because you need to speak and to share and to create content to put on IG, Facebook and all of that. You need a space. And so the space you need to decide. You nak rent dekat petrol station ke? You want to be in I don't know, you want to rent a shop lot ke? That you have to study. It takes
in terms of like shop
6
lots,
months.
in terms of shop lots and malls, I mean, given the pandemic, I think, I don't know, I noticed that many people try to avoid going to malls. Maybe I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. But like there is a different visitation numbers between having your restaurant or your coffee shop in a mall or outside like shop lots, like where you can just park your car and just walk into the coffee. In terms of those location differences, what is your opinion in after the pandemic? Is there a big difference in number of visitations, or is it like the coffee are moving towards shop lots instead of like malls, or is it better that we have that idea in mind?
right now, with our reopening of the economy, the malls are being flooded with people.
Okay.
And the biggest mall is 10 minutes away from my home, because the biggest mall, when the new wing opens in a few months' time, IOI City Mall will be the biggest mall in Peninsular Malaysia.
Wow.
Right? And people are flooding into the malls again. However, there are also malls that, you know, because maybe the tenant mix is not right, or maybe the location is wrong, they don't do well. But generally, Malaysians still are very mall people, because air condition, convenience, you've got a supermarket there, pharmacy is there, all the convenience is there. But having said that, if you were to be able to scout for a good home, a good location at Kenny Hills Bakers Bukit Tungku, when you stand alone, your value for position will always be higher, because you become a destination store. People specifically plan to come and see you, not as part of going to the mall, and if I got a bit of time, I just run and catch something from there. Because when you do that, your ticket is also smaller. But when you have a destination high street store, like the one in Bukit Tungku, for example, or Taman Tun, or a high street location, if it's a average ticket is very high.
Right.
2 people makan dah berapa.
Betul.
Lepas itu take away lagi, and then air lagi. Compared to, oh, I got some time, I go and rush and get an Americano and run. It's huge difference, yeah, in spending power. So I think the business needs to know on the USP, what's their target market, their demographic, okay, and maybe also have a mix and match. Some are in shop lot, some are in drive-through, some are in the mall, some are stand-alone, some in the airport, some totally you don't see, you can order only via Grab food. So a mix and match, and then you see what works. If you have the financial ability, like, I mean, yeah, like Starbucks, of course, have got multiple formats. They've got drive-thrus, they've got curbside order, they've got all of it. Because you need to have that you know, ability to invest into the infrastructure. It's very massive, yeah. It's massive.
So I have a question. There is a Starbucks Reserve, right? So I want to know, there is a difference between Starbucks Reserve and this regular Starbucks.
The barista lah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
barista.
yes, I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, what was your question again? So Starbucks, the normal Starbucks store, and the Starbucks Reserve, what's the difference?
And yes, with the barista, what's the difference with the barista at the Starbucks Reserve and the Starbucks?
Okay, right, got you. Okay, maybe to answer your question, right now in the world of Starbucks, in terms of physical stores, I believe they have got 5, if not more, Starbucks Reserve roasteries in the world. There's only 5 or 7. That's the highest format. It's only available in, I think, Seattle, Chicago, I think in Tokyo, in Milan. There's 5 of it. Now, the Reserve roasteries paling atas. If you can go to YouTube and visit the Starbucks Reserve Roastery Milan. It's such a beautiful store. I personally am a contact with its GM Gianpaolo Grossi, who sends me pictures now and then. In that store was originally the post office in Milan. It's a heritage building converted into a Starbucks Reserve Roastery, and the only store in Italy. Because Italy is the birthplace of espresso. Howard Schultz, when he was traveling in Italy, he fell in love with the art of espresso, because over there, espresso bar is like kedai mamak di sini. He fell in love with it. He flew back to Seattle. He shared with the original founder and owners on the concept of espresso bars in Milan. And that's the modern day Starbucks lah. So in a Starbucks Reserve Roastery like that, you can actually see the green beans in the black bag, the bag guni, right up to how it is being vacuumed into the master roaster area. And then you can see the master roaster checking it with technology and also experience. And then you've got QR codes, because they went into a partnership with Alibaba Jack Ma, where besides a barista talking and telling you, it is experience for all your senses. Visually, the sound, QR code to find out more information, and then the barista speaking to you, making a V60, pulling an espresso shot. Okay, that's the reserve roastery. They even got affogato. That means freshly made ice cream in-house. They even have a bar, an alcoholic bar that takes Starbucks coffee and alcohol drinks and then make it into a mocktail. So it's a flagship showcase store, very atas, and it's always full. That's the highest. The middle is what you see in KL, is the Starbucks Reserve store, where all the baristas wear the black apron. Why they are wearing the black apron is because one of the prerequisites to work at the Starbucks Reserve store is you must be a district coffee master.
Oh, wow.
When you become a Starbucks barista, there is a certification to first be a store coffee master. So store coffee master, you are able to make coffee tastings and share it with partners and maybe customers, but a district coffee master is a higher level. So they wear black apron to signify that they've passed that certification to become a district coffee master. Once a year, among the hundreds of district coffee masters, they will go for interviews and they will go for competition to select top 10 to top 15, where they will go for the Ambassador Cup, where one barista or one district coffee master will be corrected or will be crowned the coffee ambassador Starbucks Coffee Malaysia for that year. And that gives you a lot of value because every country only has one Starbucks ambassador for that year. So your value goes up, right? Because of knowledge, certification, and blah, blah, blah. Then comes your original Starbucks store where you see the green apron and the normal store. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jeevan. That's answer my question. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we have Idham?
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Jeevan, for your opinion, our local barista ni, sebab saya pernah datang ke event kopi-kopi di KL, local kopi. If in your opinion, rasa-rasanya local barista kita ni boleh reach tak the international standard tu? Maksudnya boleh bersaing tak dekat international level? Thank you.
Idam, I don't know whether you heard my story or my sharing on Shasha Shashtik earlier, the barista from Bosnia-Herzegovina. Did you hear that story earlier, Idam?
Yeah.
Lost him. I don't know whether he's still.
Because I'm driving. I balik Pulau Pinang.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, I mean, from the answer I gave on Shasha Shashtik, what do you think?
What do I think? Local barista ni, for me, dia ada potential untuk jadi be in international standard sebab industri kopi kat Malaysia ni dia macam umpama cendawan tumbuh selepas hujan lah. Memang banyak menarik minat anak muda untuk menceburi industri kopi. So rasanya local barista ni boleh ada potensi lah untuk reach the international standard. Tapi okay, itu je.
Yeah. So you answer your own question.
Actually, Mr. Jeevan. Mr. Jeevan, my students are very good at asking questions and answering themselves. They're very good.
There is a keyword for that. It's called reflection. Sometimes you need to reflect. When you do reflection, you got the answer already.
Yes. Okay. I would like to call Aisha. Just now she asked question, but we didn't snap a picture with Mr. Jeevan, so she was a bit sad. I want a picture with Mr. Jeevan. Okay, come in, Aisha. Let's take a picture now with Mr. Jeevan. Cepat. Okay, smile. Thanks. 1, 2, smile. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Aisha.
Thank you, Aisha.
Right. Siapa ada lagi soalan? Any maybe on my host ke? Any question? Yes. Okay, come in.
Nazifah, silakan. Nazifah.
Hi, Mr. Jeevan. Okay.
Hello.
My name is Nadiha, and I have this one question.
Can we spotlight her, please?
Spotlight, please, yeah.
Pretty girl ni, pretty girl. Mana pretty girl ni?
Boy.
Nanti dia blushing, nanti dia bercakap dah.
Okay. Mr. Jeevan, ada tak any ideas on future innovation yang boleh sustain a coffee house?
Just bear with me. I would like to hear you in stereo and answer you in stereo. It's just that my AirPods have just run out of juice. So I just tried to give it some life. Just 1 second. Okay, there goes my other AirPod. Just give me just give it like 10 seconds, right? Because the juice is all out.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time. First,
dah habis
kita
battery.
Smile. Kita smile dulu. Ambil gambar cepat. Smile. Nice. Tengok. I punya gigi tak boleh tunjuk. Nanti nampak kuning.
Right.
With the virtual background like that. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Nadiha, is it? Right.
Yes.
Nadiha, I think, right? Sorry. Okay. Keyword: climate change, global warming, sustainability, green is the new black. We need to understand this whole context. Packaging that we use, it needs to be recyclable, it needs to be environmentally friendly, it needs to be green. We need to speak the language of our community. We have to lessen our importation of goods. Why? When we import barang-barang daripada overseas, number one, we are paying in US dollar. Our ringgit is now very low, mahal. Number two, it's not sustainable. Why? Because if suddenly tempat tu macam Ukraine, we need tepung gandum or we need gandum from Ukraine. What's happening in Ukraine right now? You know, right? What's happening in Ukraine right now? It's a war going on in Ukraine right now. It's causing the price of gandum to go up, to skyrocket, right? And then, and when you use the plane or you use the ship to bring the barang into Malaysia, your carbon footprint is very high. You are not helping the environment. You are damaging it even more. So when you have this ethos or you have these values and ethics to drive your brand, your cafe, kita cuba benda kecil dahulu. Maksudnya, umpama kata, you ask your customers to come with tumbler. You come with tumbler, immediately I give you RM2 off. Or on Friday, no, if you come with no tumbler, I'm sorry, we don't serve. We only serve customer yang bawa tumbler. Kalau nak beli kita punya makan, boleh bawa you punya Tupperware. For example, I'm giving examples, ya. So the customer say, leceh lah macam ni ke apa. Tapi lambat laun, bila dia fikir, antara banyak-banyak restoran dan banyak-banyak cafe, kenapa you yang buat, benda tu make sense to them, dan tiba-tiba dia orang akan rasa, I nak support lah that cafe because dia orang prihatin. Lepas itu setiap 2 minggu, dia bawa customer-customer pergi ke Sungai Melaka, pergi buat pembersihan Sungai Melaka, kutip-kutip sampah, kutip plastik, kita bagi ke NGO, the plastik masuk dalam mesin, recycle jadi wall clock, jadi keychain, jadi this and that. And then kutipan daripada jualan barang ni kita salurkan balik kepada pembersihan Sungai Melaka. I'm just giving example. When you do something like this, bila you ada prinsip-prinsip yang you tegakkan dan you make it like a guiding principle of your business can go forward. Don't do something only for today. Do something for your future. That is my personal idea that I personally advise and consult businesses to do, including boutique hotels, including cafe, bistro, restaurant, kiosk, pop-up, blah, blah, blah. All of them need to think on this. You need to be involved in your community. Gotong royong. Get your customer. Kita ada form kat sini. 15 hari bulan ni kita nak buat gotong royong. Boleh tak letak nama? Kita sama-sama turun padang. Hari Sabtu pukul 3 sampai pukul 5 kita tutup. 20 orang turun padang. Kita kumpul semua sampah. Can I ask you this question? What do you think your customers going to think about you?
Macam love nature macam tu.
Impressed lah. They're going to be impressed.
Right. They're going to think, wow, she is holding the flag and she is gathering all of us and we are doing something meaningful on a Saturday before Raya Haji. It's like, daripada, aku tengah buat apa, tak tahu nak buat apa lah. Tak ada tujuan, tak ada, lepak je lah. You know? Rather than that, you give them a purpose. Bila you memberi tujuan kepada orang, lambat laun orang akan sayang kat you. Sebab you bagi tujuan kepada orang. You bagi matlamat. Hidup kita sangat singkat tapi kita banyak bazir masa kita dengan benda-benda yang tak ada tujuan. Alright, that's my answer lah. I hope it helps you.
Thank you. I hope
tak pernah terlintas idea tu. Thank you.
I think it's very important that we slowly teach ourselves to be more environmental friendly these days. Because despite everyone telling you global warming, you know, what exactly do you understand the consequence of it? You know, like we don't feel like it is part of our role. We don't feel, sometimes we feel like, oh, I didn't throw rubbish everywhere. Like I don't have a role to play in that. You know, I just have to remind my neighbors not to throw rubbish, you know. But I think our roles are beyond that. I think it's not just about, just because we're not doing something bad like other people are doing, that doesn't mean that, you know, we're good, you know. Because I think we need to keep reminding, awareness,
When I have the opportunity to mentor or to train or to be with a younger group of people, I always tell them, whatever positive that you do, walaupun orang tak kata terima kasih kepada you, just remember this, that alam ini tak buta. This universe is not blind.
Betul.
And semua benda yang you buat, orang nampak, orang tak nampak, orang kata terima kasih atau tak ucapkan apa sekalipun, don't mind and don't bother. You do because of your integrity. You don't do because people say thank you or don't say thank you. Why do you think Japanese people yang generally
we're losing you, Mr. Jeevan. Your line.
Right. I think am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
So
you were
need
saying
to
Japanese people.
Yeah, Japanese people, like I think sometimes they come to Malaysia to do a story with all the other journalists. But when all the other journalists sampah, but these Japanese reporters and journalists, they pick up all the sampah and they buang. Kenapa dia tak buang sampah dia je? Kenapa dia kena kelam kabut ambil sampah orang lain? Because alam ini adalah alam yang feeling. Yin and yang, karma. You tumbuk, you cubit kiri. Yes. Tidak ada benda you buat di alam ini yang tidak ada dia punya opposite of it. Remind yourself that when you are driving your car, when you give way, tak kisahlah orang tu angkat tangan ke tak. Orang tu tak angkat tangan, orang tu angkat tangan, good. Tak angkat tangan is okay because you do because of yourself, not because of that person. Right? If everybody does this, we can be much, much better.
I think we did not only learn about coffee today, we also learned about how to be kind. I think Mr. Jeevan is like a total perfect person lah untuk kita punya discussion hari ni. Because Mr. Jeevan, in professional development, I think it's important that I highlight this. We need to teach values, like ethical.
Yes.
We need to show, like not just telling people to behave in a certain manner, but also to actually do it yourself, and then other people can follow, inshallah. So Mr. Jeevan, thank you so much for the session today. I would love to extend the time because the discussion keeps getting interesting. I think this needs to be wrapped up in a coffee shop, Mr. Jeevan. So I would like to,
inshallah, I would love to come to Malacca one day.
Well, we can always find one coffee shop in KL and we can catch up, inshallah.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, because I'm heading back to KL right after this for Hari Raya. I the opposite of many of people balik kampung keluar KL, tapi I balik kampung balik KL ya. So I usually I'm not worried about the traffic lah, insyaAllah. Because traffic dia terbalik, you know. So kalau I balik hari ni, nanti traffic sebelah kanan yang jam. Nak pergi ke selatan will be traffic.
Yes.
So please allow me to pass the session back to our dearest host, Airol, to do his conclusion. Let's give him the support to do his conclusion. His very best to conclude whatever we have discussed today. Yeah, back to you, Airol. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Azmin. It was a very good talk about the coffee. Such a great discussion, okay? There are a lot of information that we got today, which is dah buka mata kita about careers in coffee from field to cup. Madam Azmin. So, Madam, any words to share before we end our talk today?
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Jeevan, it's actually a pleasure to really have you this morning. I've been looking forward to this morning session because of my high interest in coffee, because I think I was the one who pushed my student, can you do this topic? Because I like to get connected with people in the coffee world, you know. I would like to know more people who loves coffee and who knows about coffee business. So it's okay. So they did the research, and so I couldn't thank you enough for agreeing to be part of today's program. I think we had a wonderful discussion. I think your input has been very valuable. I will definitely keep it, and inshallah, if ada rezeki, next semester when we have a fully physical lectures where the students are all back to campus, we would love to have another session and invite you over to the campus, physically come and meet my student again, because it's been like 5 semesters we've been doing this program online. So we would love, we kind of actually miss meeting people, you know, like seeing people face to face. I think the students do that too. They miss it, and I think if we had the opportunity to do that and, you know, like physically on campus, we could actually do some coffee tasting as well with this topic, right? So I think there's a lot of extra things that we can do when we do this physical, but of course, having this program on webinar has its benefits too, you know, like we can actually have more people. Tengah masak rendang pun boleh dengar, tapi kalau kita buat physical, we cannot do that. We have to really think of a date where everybody have to forget about Hari Raya or making rendang and be there to enjoy the talk. So I think it has its pro and cons lah. But I'm very proud of my student hosts. They really did their best despite you know, all the nervousness they had in themselves. This is a good opportunity. So congratulations to my student hosts, Airol, Khairil, Nisa, Putra, Aiman, and Adlina. They really, I can tell you this, they really gave their best for today. And I think they overcome fight all the fears they had, you know. There was one few occasion when I had meetings with them, they went really silent, clueless. They were not able to conclude things. They were not able to think, wait, madam, my brain, I left it at home, you know, I need to go back and bring my brain back, you know. It's like we've had like occurrences like that, and you know, to see them today able to bring out words is a great achievement, I think, you know. So I believe with this experience they can go further, inshallah. I pray for all of your success and endeavors in the future. And to the participant, to all those who had asked question, I couldn't thank you enough. I know everybody tadi nampak kan dekat kampung, semua tengah masak, memang betul. In fact, honestly, a lot of people PM me, personal message me, said, like my colleagues lah, oh my God, your topic is so great, but why do you have to do on Saturday before Hari Raya? I'm now driving with 3 kids in the back. If I turn on, it's going to be, oh, daddy. Like, oh my God, everybody's like, why? Can you postpone? Of course we can. I have to get this out of my way. I want to enjoy my Hari Raya also. So, I think this topic is really hot lah. Memang bagus. And we learn a lot from you. So I would like to thank you again. And before I end my session, I would like to allow or give the platform to Mr. Jeevan. Maybe you have some words of advice or your hope in the coffee industry or to my student with this program. Yes.
Thank you so much for handing it over to me, Azwin, and thank you to the team, to the organizing committee, the host, moderator, panelists. Yes. It's the first time in my life having 3 moderators with me at one go. Like yes. I mentioned to your lecturer, because most of the time when I do retail conferences, summits, events, things like that, there is one moderator and there'll be a few panelists. Meaning like a few speakers lah. Moderator ni akan macam make sure everybody is in alignment and the time, But here we've got a few moderators, even a host even. It's a different way, but I'm also enjoying it. I enjoyed it. Thank you for that.
We're losing you. But I think something is your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes.
Okay. I've only got like 2 minutes before my battery totally is dead.
Okay.
Please remember that you are the CEO of yourself. Please remember personal branding. Go and read it up a little bit. Connect with me on LinkedIn. You can get my details from your lecturer. Yes. And send me a WhatsApp if you have any questions whatsoever. Any time of the day, I'll respond to you when I can. The more I give, the more I impart, the more I gain. That is how we all learn together, right? I'm wishing you all the very best in your life, but you must find your fire, right? You must find your pain point, convert it into your fire, execute it as an action plan, right? That's it from me. I'm good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Jeevan.